are you doing? How have you been throughout the whole pandemic?
Um, it was good. I think it's a great experience. Like I say, it will be a little bit harder to talk because it seems like I already talked with you, you know. So yeah, it's good. Pandemic is definitely beneficial for me because after the last loss is a lot of changes in the gym wise and coaching wise, and get some work done where it need to be done, and yeah, it's working hard and can't wait to get back in a cage.
With your training, did you take some time off before jumping back into it to try to like refocus and accept the loss, or were you just back in the gym like the day after?
Like after the last loss, was like I realized the mistakes what I made and the things what I need to work. I realized already there in the cage by getting beaten, you know. And
Yeah.
and soon as Monday come, I was back in the gym and was working on and improve all the little things. And then pandemic starts, and obviously all gyms start closed. So I make my own little garden gym and was training there for a couple months, and yeah, till all the professional fighters can get together and start working together. So yeah, it's been great.
Speaking of your last loss, Adam Proctor is fighting for that belt. Does it hurt a little bit, or is it a little bit bittersweet knowing that that could have been you? You know, had you done a little bit different in the fight, you would have been the one competing for the belt.
Mm. Yeah, of course, because me and Adam was fighting like kind of a title eliminator. So is that like you're that close, and same time you're pretty far now. So I need to rebound back and get back on the title shot. And yeah, I don't know. I hope Adam gonna win. That's gonna look better on me, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's got a tough fight, Mason Jones. So we'll see how his that go.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually when people lose to someone, they're like, "Man, I hope the worst for him." But it's good to see that you're like, you know what? I hope he wins because if he wins, it makes me look better as a fighter. It's weird because some people don't like, you know, if they lose to someone, they wish them the worst. So it's good to see that you're still rooting for him even though you lost to him.
No, of course. It's like he was better on the night. It's like
Yeah.
if he's knocked me out or submit me, that been pretty. I probably take even harder. But he didn't do anything like this. He just was better in certain places in the fight. So I just need to improve them places, them things, and I think I'm gonna beat him anyway. It's like next time I'm gonna see him, the result will be different. Maybe the result was not gonna be different, but the fight definitely gonna be different.
What's the lesson you're gonna take from this? I mean, your last loss prior to this one was way back in your amateur debut when you weren't even doing any jiu-jitsu at that point or any wrestling. So what's the biggest lesson you're gonna learn from that loss?
The first one or Adam fight?
The Adam fight.
Adam fight. Obviously, like I told you yesterday, I was on a training camp. The first lesson what I learned when you go into training camp, you're going for more than 2 weeks, and you're not going too close to the fight, because like I was go to the hard training camp in Sweden, training together with Khamzat Chimaev at All Stars, and the training camp was really hard. So I find myself burn myself out, come back, was very tired, need like 2-3 nights to sleep just to get overtired, you know, like to get back to normal like life. And it was fight night, and I was still in the mood, a bit tired and not that much focus, a lot of pressure on me, and yeah, it's just never ever before the big fights. I'm not gonna go that close to the fight to some training camp. I'm gonna go before the fight, but I will make sure I come back like 2 weeks before the fight so I can get back to my normal me and obviously fight how I want to fight, not how it's gonna be.
Speaking of Khamzat Chimaev, he fights tonight. As I think a lot of UFC fans are looking forward to it, but there's a lot of people saying like he's had the right fights. There's a lot of hype behind the guy. He hasn't fought a tough opponent yet. As someone who's trained with him, how good is Khamzat Chimaev?
So first of all, the guy who is fighting tonight is not a bad guy.
Yeah.
People need to realize he's not a bad guy. And I actually read today, Dana White say it's not like they feeding some bags for him, like they give him a good guy. So I think if he's gonna beat this one, I think all questions will be answered, because the guy is good on the ground. So basically, no, but you feed them to the wolf, you feed them to the wolf. And the way I see Khamzat's training, he's just gonna run over this guy as well. Obviously, his level is, I think, higher than actually people realize. So we'll see. I think he's gonna smash this guy, and he's gonna smash Demi and Maya, and soon Usman will get one as well.
I want to speak a bit about your upcoming fight. I tried to pronounce his name yesterday when we talked, and I butchered it. But I'm going to try it again. So, what are your thoughts on Mateusz Blachowicz?
Mateusz Blachowicz.
There it is.
He's good. He's good. Like I told you yesterday. Obviously, I was training with the guy 2 years ago in Thailand, so it was good competitive sparring on the ground and in a stand-up. So I think the guys who are gonna watch UFC Fight Pass on Thursday night will be for a good treat. I think it's gonna be very, very excited fight. He's a striker. I like to strike. I think I'm better. He thinks he is better, and we're gonna find out who's actually is better. So good for fans.
You were originally scheduled to fight Chris Atley, who I think is his teammate. So kind of describe what it's like to have a change of opponents who have completely different styles.
First of all, I was pissed off because the Chris Ashley is more like a grappler. So I was getting ready for the grappler. And 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, 10 days out of the fight, they change opponent. So from the grappler to the striker. But it's not, you can't say he's going to be striking much. Maybe the Mateusz Blachowicz will keep the game plan same, try to take me down, like people still thinking my ground game maybe not that good. So we'll see about that. But yeah, we'll see. And it's hard, but if you don't believe you can beat anybody, so why are you doing it? So I think it doesn't matter. It's like 10 days, 5 days, you change the opponent, I go fight. If he's gonna be better, he's gonna be better, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna beat Mateusz and will be good.
When someone has, you've obviously trained with the guy, but when someone has such few fights, is it harder to kind of like watch his tape? Because usually if guys have 10, 12 fights, you can watch 3 or 4 fights and know what his weaknesses are. But if there's not much tape on him, is it a little bit hard to prepare for someone like that?
It's definitely harder, but like I say, I was training with him, so I got some taste how the fights can go and how it's gonna be. And plus, he's got previous fights is not so far back, and they are on YouTube, so you can watch it. The last fight actually he fight 15 minutes, so you can see some things on ground and stand up as well, so you can take something from there. But yeah, it's not that much about what he gonna do. It's like like a lot of people telling me I just need to go out there and be me, and when I'm me, I'm very, very dangerous guy. So that's always matter.
I want to talk a little bit about your career because you did jump into the sport a little bit later in life. A lot of people like start MMA training when they're in their like early 20s, or some people even they're teenagers. So why did you get involved in the sport? What was it that led you to fighting?
Obviously, when I come to England, there's a lot of things like foreign people doing, like I told you, yes, sit in the sofa, drinking beers, watching TV, and enjoy the factory lives. But I kind of not see myself doing the factory jobs. So I started training boxing and kickboxing. And after boxing and kickboxing, I did one MMA fight without the ground game, what I lost. So I changed the coaches and put some work in the ground game. And some of the coaches say I got pretty good talent, so I start working more and more. And yeah, couple years in, now I'm, I think, years altogether from my first loss is, I think, 6 years when I do MMA, and I'm already professional, 8 fights in, so doing well. Just keep pushing and keep reach the goal what I put for myself.
You did have a long amateur career. What was the reason for that? Was it just trying to make sure that you understood all aspects of the game? You got the wrestling down, you got the ground game down. Was it just trying to do that, or was it just trying to get as tough opponents as you can to make sure you were ready before making the jump to professionals?
Yeah, basically you answered all the question. Yeah, it's exactly same. It's like you try get at the amateur, like I told, is like the record in amateurs means nothing. Records is for the DJs. You just keep fighting the best guys, best amateurs to see where you need to improve, what need to improve. And obviously, the more fights you do it, the more experience you get under your belt, because the amateur and professional is not big difference. So the more amateurs you're gonna get, the better professional you're gonna be. You know. So basically, I did all 10 fights till I get to that point when promotions can't get me opponents to fight anymore. So I was ranked number 1 in UK and Ireland. So there was time when me and coach just think we need to go to professional. So that's how I moved. If I have chance to fight more amateur, I probably do even more, maybe one more year. But there wasn't the guys who want to fight me, so I moved professional. That's
one of the things that I noticed first off when I watched it was your nickname is one of my favorites in all of MMA, the Latvian Express. And there's not many people who can say that because there's not many Latvian MMA fighters. So what do you think it will take to see a lot of MMA coming out of Latvia?
yeah. I've been in Latvia a couple. I go once a year at least to Latvia, so I train with the guys there. We got some talented guys over there, obviously, and yeah, I think we're gonna hear more about Latvian MMA. We got a couple good guys, and I think if they're doing the right thing, training grappling, training wrestling, and strikes. Obviously, striking is pretty good in our country anyway. So if they're gonna start mix it all together very well, and I think we're gonna hear some more names from Latvia. And I think in UK we got a couple good Latvian guys who lives in UK and training as well, same as me. There is a Matis Zaharos, Igor Pusarskis. You know, I think we are. By bringing the name Latvia out over here, we're gonna get better fighters from Latvia as well. I think so. That's gonna be good.
Do you think you're going to need someone to become a champion in one of these big organizations, something like Connor did with Ireland? Do you think it's going to take one person to really inspire the entire country to start doing MMA?
Yeah, obviously, when I'm gonna win the Cage Warriors belt, I'm gonna inspire more people in Latvia. I know there is Matis Zaharos in Brave FC. Brave FC is pretty big promotion as well in nowadays. I think when Mati is gonna win his belt in Brave FC, is again this is up to us. We just need to get them bigger promotions. The people will see we can do it, and the more people gonna recognize MMA in Latvia as well. You know.
Speaking of European MMA, there's a big fight coming up. It's Polish fighter Jan Blachowicz is fighting for the light heavyweight belt that John Jones vacated against Dominick Reyes. Who are you rooting for, and who do you think will win?
I got quite a lot of Polish friends, so I wish to Jan Blachowicz win, but with my heart, I want Blachowicz to win, but MMA maths telling me Reyes gonna take it because I think he's a little bit. I think Reyes is a younger fighter, faster fighter, and more rounded fighter. So I think Reyes gonna take that one. So
obviously, your goal now is to win this fight on Thursday and then win the Cage Warriors belt. But where do you see yourself long term? Do you see yourself competing for a Bellator, a UFC, or are you happy there in Cage Warriors, just staying in the UK and doing what you can in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, Cage Warriors is good, but Cage Warriors is something was build you up for the bigger promotion. That's for all fighters. So the main goal is the bigger promotion. I got still 3 fights with Cage Warriors. I try to win my belt, and then we'll see what the MMA gods gonna bless me. You know, it might be UFC, it might be Bellator, it might be Brave FC. It doesn't matter. As long as the journey is nice and I enjoy fighting and enjoy training, and yeah, we'll see where we're going from there.
I love that. If something like the Contender Series were to come up, was that something you'd be interested in as well?
Yeah, I was looking that one as well. So that's one of the options as well. After I finish my contract with Cage Warriors, I will might try the Contender Series. It's pretty good option. A couple of friends tell me to try as well, so we'll see how does that go.
Okay, I'll ask you one last question, then I'll let you go. So for people who haven't seen you fight, some people are strictly UFC fans. Most of the people who watch me are just UFC fans. So for those people, what is your fight style like, and what can they expect from you on Thursday?
My fight style's unpredictable. He's like very, very, very messy technical striking. So, and this Thursday, I'm going to put clinical striking on Mateusz Blachowicz, and I will get the victory. So, enjoy the fights on UFC Fight Pass Thursday night.
I love it. How do you see it getting done? First round finish, decision. How is this going to go?
I never predict my fights. I will win the fight, and yeah, it will be a very watchable fight. I promise you, as soon as the ring the bell, I will go after him, and we're gonna get the fight, and that's what fans want.
All right, man. Thank you very much for speaking with me. I know you're only a few days out, so it's probably hard times right now, but I appreciate you taking the time, and all the best.
Thank you. You can see in my cheeks, yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
All right. Stay safe.
See ya.